Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome to those of you who are seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is we bring about a series of conversations about a variety of social, psychological, emotional topics for the betterment of hopefully as many people as we can. We do that in an audio format. We've got over 500 audios available for your listening pleasure on a variety of topics, going kind of in a motivational um, bent as of late. So, you know, 5 to 15 minutes a day, hopefully things to reset your mind and it can be helpful. If you believe that this would be helpful to someone you know, please share, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, make a difference in a post-COVID world. Maybe give some to charity. That would be the goal for the year anyway. So this particular audio is about the progress mindset. So what does it mean to be progress minded? It means letting forward motion of your life, of your relationships, of your finances, of every area of your existence be more important than emotions. Now, please don't misunderstand. I'm not saying don't be emotional, but quite often when we are guided by our emotions, we are often misguided into making knee-jerk reactive decisions which lead us to maybe be taken advantage of, or to not be set up for a strong future, to be negatively impacted by people with manipulation techniques, all sorts of things. So progressive mindset is one where we're looking towards expansion on a continual basis. So the first is learn from the negative experiences in your life. Look, even the things you don't want to deal with, somebody's unfortunate passing can teach us that life is fragile and valuable. Somebody taking advantage of us can teach us not to give so much that we lose ourselves. Someone who is perhaps abusive may mean we need to protect ourselves better and have an overall better social connective. There's a lot of ways and a lot of things that we can do to view things from a more aggressive or positive perspective as far as moving things forward, and that can be extremely useful, valuable, and coming to a better mindset and coming to a better place. It doesn't necessarily mean that we have to know everything that's coming. We just need to keep moving and progressing towards kind of an evolutionary approach to daily living and learn from things that aren't exactly comfortable or weren't comfortable. Um, have multiple sources for all things. So this means multiple sources for money, multiple sources for things to believe in, things you have faith in, multiple sources for relationships, platonic specifically, and if you're into polyamory, then maybe a polyamorous situation. No judgment either way, because universal right and wrong may not exist in the worldview that you have. Multi sources of ways to learn new things. In other words, study. Become a student of life. Become a student of what you're trying to achieve. There is an understanding that the more we're willing to grow and study, the more we're willing to get to a place that is useful and valuable and can have long-term positive impacts on our daily living process. Be diverse. So diversify. Diversify your sources for news and information. Don't listen to only one person because you're only going to get their viewpoint. Diversify your knowledge of finance and other aspects of daily living. Diversify your knowledge of language and how people communicate. Study the differences in human nature so that you're not doomed to only have a narrow view. The more narrow your view, the more you need people to be in exact agreement with you in order to make actual progress towards anything that's lasting and meaningful. The more wide your view, even though you can have convictions, now please don't misunderstand, I'm not telling you not to have convictions. What I'm saying is, hey, it's possible that what this person believes could be true. I don't agree with it, it's not for me, I'm going to still do my thing, but anything is possible. When you open up potential for possibility, that's where growth can actually come from, because things that might not have been things you considered beforehand can now suddenly become useful to you in terms of building a meaningful and long lasting relationship with progress in a way that leads you forward. The next is accountability. Do what you say what you mean, follow through when you make a promise, and when you can't, immediately address the reasons why things changed. People often aren't accountable. They say things in the heat of the moment, they say things because they don't want conflict, they say things for any number of reasons, and the over promising that exists within human existence for lots of people and lots of reasons can lead to challenges that are negative and often very harmful. Learn to be accountable to what you say. Choose your language in a manner which isn't going to make a liar out of you. So it's much better to say, I'll do the best I can to be there on time, versus I will be there on time, no doubt about it. If you know that your time management skills are wonky, and you have chances of running late, or I'll do my best to help you out financially if I can, it's much better than I've got you and then not following through. So choose language which gives you it out if you need it in an emergency situation, but things you can follow through on and be accountable to because you didn't overpromise. Learn and grow every chance you get. So, it may be things that you know nothing about. It may be things you don't care about, but someone in your life does. It may be things that you may need for later, a year from now, a month from now, whatever the case may be. The more you're willing to learn, the more you're willing to grow, the more you're willing to and will be able to master life. Life is a constant experience of study, and so when you're willing to study at a whole nother level, the better off you're willing to be uh, in order to get to a healthier and more meaningful place for your future. When you're stubborn about learning, what you're really doing is setting yourself up to be passed by. And when you set yourself up to be passed by, oftentimes it may sneak up on you because you weren't, expecting it or whatever, and then you have to deal with the emotions of um, how you looked at life, how you were with things, and all of that. Understanding that when you really begin to learn new things, there's nothing in your life that you can't master if you become persistent with being a student, persistent with learning and committing to growing in whatever way you can and or will benefit you. When you begin to understand that part of human nature, that's where you really kick yourself into the next year. Know that slumps will come, know that hardships will come, and that you have the ability to beat them. Beating a slump doesn't necessarily mean that you will always like how you feel about the process. Beating a slump won't always mean that you know what's coming next. It means that your relationship with internal resiliency, the thought that I will get through this too shall pass, is at the center of the decisions you make. When that's at the center of the decisions you make, that's where your power lies. When your power lies in a certain outcome, you actually leave yourself powerless unless things go exactly according to plan, and that often, well, doesn't happen for most people. The last thing is expand your mind. Look for ways to go, I never considered this. Look for ways to learn about different cultures and different religions, worldviews, whatever it is. Don't think that any one way has all your answers. Instead, focus on how can I How can I get to a better place, a more meaningful place, and all of that. So hopefully this has been helpful. I encourage you to keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.